The economy of South Africa explained. South Africa is a country located at the southern tip of the African continent. It also includes a small sub-Atlantic archipelago of the Prince Edward Islands. Neighboring countries include Botswana, Lesotho, Mozambique, Namibia, Swaziland, and Zimbabwe. The geography of South Africa is vast: scrubland in the interior, the Namib Desert in the northwest, and tropics in the southeast. The government system is the republic. The chief of state and head of government is the president. South Africa has a mixed economy, the second largest in Africa after Nigeria. It also has a relatively high GDP per capita compared to other countries in sub-Saharan Africa. The country is a member of the Southern African Development Community. In addition to being one of the world's largest exporters of gold, platinum, and other natural resources, it has well-established financial, legal, communications, energy, and transport sectors, and the continent's largest stock exchange. However, rates of formal sector unemployment and crimes are high. But before we continue exploring the economy of South Africa, if you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of our videos. Agriculture. South Africa's agricultural sector is one of the world's most diverse, consisting of corporate and private intensive and extensive crop farming systems, including vegetable, fruit, nuts, and grain production. The well-developed commercial farming sector in South Africa is the backbone to the country's agricultural economy, and in 2020 showed the best growth rate of all economic sectors, coming in at 13.1%. As a matter of fact, the agricultural sector contributed around 10% to South Africa's total export earnings in 2020 at a value of $10.2 billion. Citrus, wine, table grapes, corn, and apples accounted for the largest exports by value. South Africa also exports wool, nuts, sugar, mohair, and pears, just to name a few. The country also had an import of about $6.3 billion in agricultural and food products in 2020, which is a decrease of 7% from 2019, mainly due to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Meanwhile, for most agricultural subsectors, South Africa is emerging from one of the best years. The 2020-2021 season saw bumper harvests for grains, oilseeds, and some fruits. These boosted export earnings and improved farm incomes, especially for grains where the large harvest coincided with higher crop prices. This is thanks to its good climate. The South African climate ranges from tropical to Mediterranean, allowing for a multitude of farming opportunities. The country's biodiversity ensures that products such as grains, fruit, and wine are exported and preferred for its exceptional quality. This is a growing demand to improve subsistence farming or informal small-scale farming in South Africa. There are approximately 32,000 commercial farmers in South Africa, of which between 5,000 and 7,000 produce approximately 80% tons of agricultural output. Manufacturing. Previously considered the growth engine of the South African economy, the manufacturing industry has been in decline, with local manufacturers facing multiple challenges. The manufacturing sector has been an area of focus for government as it offers the greatest potential for job creation and economic growth. In 2016, the government launched the Black Industrialist Scheme, which has the manufacturing sector as a key focus to help stimulate the manufacturing industry. To date, the scheme has backed 102 industrialists, including some success stories in the manufacturing sector, such as Microfinish Automotive in KwaZulu-Natal, which manufactures and supplies valve guides and valve seats to original vehicle manufacturers and aftermarket service providers. Maneli Pets, an agro-processing company which produces high-end pet food. United's Industrial Cables, which receives millions for the manufacturing of a variety of copper cables. Nevertheless, the major manufacturing sectors are food processing and the production of textiles, metals, and chemicals. Agriculture and fisheries provide the basis for substantial activity in wheat, fish, and fruit canning, sugar refining, and other processing. More than half these products are exported. However, in January 2022, manufacturing production output increased by 2.9% compared to a 0.2% fall in December 2021. The rate of growth in January was the fastest since June 2021. Rebounding activity in the food and beverage, basic iron and steel, non-ferrous metal products, metal goods, and equipment subsectors contributed significantly to the improvement. Transport. South Africa contains no navigable rivers. Coastal shipping provides the only water transport. The country's network of roads and railways, the most extensive in Africa, handles most of the transportation demand, supplemented by air travel. The railway system, which serves all the major cities, smaller towns, and many rural areas, is almost entirely owned and operated through the Transnet Public Corporation, although parts of Transnet are gradually being privatized. Coal and iron ore, among other products, are transported on these lines. Long-distance passenger services have declined, but many commuters use train services in all the major urban centers. The road network, on the other hand, contains some 185,000 miles of roads, ranging from rural unpaved stretches to multi-lane freeways. About 2 feet of the roads are paved. Most towns are connected by 2-lane highways. Multi-lane freeway systems extend around the 4 major urban areas, but over long distances, only Johannesburg and Durban are connected by such a highway. However, most of the responsibility for maintaining and regulating roads fall to the different levels of government, but some long-distance roads have been transferred to the private sector and transformed into toll roads. Meanwhile, in inland air services, both passenger and freights are operated by the state-owned South African Airways and by an increasing number of private competitors. Air services connect all major cities. South African Airways and many foreign carriers fly between South Africa and all neighboring countries. International service extends worldwide. The OR Tambo International Airport near Johannesburg is the main hub of the country's airport transport, both domestically and internationally, while the airports at Cape Town and Durban play increasingly important roles as international destinations. And on the side of water transport, all South African ports are owned and operated by South African Port Operations and National Ports Authority, subsidiaries of Transnet. Durban, which serves most of KwaZulu-Natal, Mpumalanga, and Northern Free State, is the major port. Port Elizabeth, Cape Town, and East London handle mixed traffic for their immediate hinterlands and more distant locations. All these ports handle goods traveling to and from other African countries, including Zimbabwe, Zambia, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Maputo, the port closest to Johannesburg, serves many areas of the northern provinces. Newer ports have also been developed at such places as Richards Bay, which handles exports of coal on the north coast of KwaZulu-Natal, and in the excellent natural harbour at Saldanha Bay north of Cape Town, from which iron ore is exported. Telecommunications. Telecommunications infrastructure in South Africa provides modern and efficient service to both urban and rural locations. This includes everything from 5G to gigabyte broadband in terms of cellular and internet services. The Independent Communications Authority of South Africa is the watchdog of the telecommunications in the country. 5 mobile phone providers in South Africa are responsible for delivering mobile services to over 50 million subscribers, and the country is regarded as having the world's 4th most advanced mobile telecommunications network. Vodacom, MTN, Cell C, Telkom Mobile, and Rain are the 5 primary cellular providers, with Liquid Telecom's Neotel no longer providing mobile services. However, Vodacom and MTN controls about 75% of the telecommunication services in South Africa. Tourism. South Africa is a popular tourist destination with around 860,000 arrivals per month, of which around 210,000 come from outside the African continent. The industry accounts for a substantial amount of the country's revenue. South Africa offers both domestic and international tourists a wide variety of options, among others the picturesque natural landscape and game reserves, diverse cultural heritage, and highly regarded wines. Some of the most popular destinations include several national parks, such as the expansive Kruger National Park in the north of the country, the coastlines and beaches of the KwaZulu-Natal and Western Cape provinces, and the major cities like Cape Town, Johannesburg, and Durban. The country is also particularly rich in plant diversity, with a wide variety of biomes found across the country. These include the grasslands in the High Veld, the succulent Karoo in central South Africa, and the endemic Finbones biome, constituting the majority of the area, and plant life in the Cape floristic region of the Western Cape. This rare vegetation is protected as part of the Table Mountain National Park, which was the most visited national park in South Africa between 2014 and 2015, with a total of 2,677,767 visitors. The top 5 overseas countries with the largest number of tourists visiting South Africa are the USA, the UK, Germany, the Netherlands, and France. Most of the tourists arriving in South Africa from elsewhere in Africa come from the SADC countries. Mining. Mining has always been a major industry in South Africa. In 2013, diamond and gold production were significantly below their peaks, yet South Africa remained the world's 5th largest gold producer and a geological treasure trove. It produces the most chrome, manganese, platinum, vanadium, and vermiculite in the world. It is the 2nd largest producer of ilmenite, palladium, rutile, and zirconium. It is also the world's 3rd largest coal exporter. South Africa is also a huge producer of iron ore. In the year 2012, it overtook India to become the world's 3rd biggest iron ore supplier to China, the world's largest consumer of iron ore. South African mining is a major source of foreign exchange and jobs creation. The country's minerals are key to its economic growth and recovery strategy. Many of South Africa's mineral reserves, estimated to be worth $2.5 trillion, remain unexploited. Statistics from the South African Department of Mineral Resources and the US-based Geological Survey indicate that South Africa possesses ore reserves amounting to a value of more than $2.5 trillion, with 16 commodities ranked in the top 10 internationally. Energy. Nearly all of South Africa's electricity is produced thermally, almost entirely from coal. Most electric power is generated by Eskom at huge stations in Mpumalanga. Synthetic coal fuel, as well as imported oil refined at ports or piped to a big inland refinery at Sasolburg, meet a tiny percentage of the country's energy demands. According to the Ministry of Mineral Resources and Energy, South Africa's total domestic electricity generation capacity is 58,095 megawatts from all sources. Currently, coal is by far the major energy source for South Africa, comprising around 80% of the country's energy mix. However, according to the 2019 Integrated Resource Plan, 24,100 megawatts of conventional thermal power sources, specifically coal, are likely to be decommissioned within the next 10 to 30 years. While coal may be the dominant source now, its share of total capacity is likely to decrease as more renewable generation comes online in the coming years. South Africa's Renewable Energy Independent Power Producer Procurement Program for utility-scale transactions signed 27 power purchase agreements in June 2018. The updated IRP outlines a number of steps the government will undertake to improve South Africa's unreliable and deteriorating energy sector, focusing on greater use of natural gas, maintaining the nuclear sector, while increasing the focus on social inclusion and a just transition plan to renewable energy. More to it, the country aims to decommission 34 gigawatts of coal-fired power capacity by 2050. It also aims to build at least 20 gigawatts of renewable power generation capacity by 2030. External trade. Since the end of apartheid, foreign trade in South Africa has increased, following the lifting of several sanctions and boycotts which were imposed as a means of ending apartheid. South Africa is the 2nd largest producer of gold and is the world's largest producer of chrome, manganese, platinum, vanadium, and vermiculite. It is also the world's 3rd largest coal exporter. South Africa also has a large agricultural sector and is a net exporter of farming products. Imports to South Africa edged up by 0.3% to over $8.7 billion in January of 2022, as higher purchases of wood, pulp and paper, original equipment components, and vehicle and transport equipment outweigh decreases in those of mineral products and base metals. South Africa's main imports are machinery, mineral products, vehicles, and aircraft vessels, while its chief exports include corn, diamonds, fruits, gold, metals and minerals, sugar, and wool. Main trading partners are China, Germany, United States, India, Saudi Arabia, and Japan. Others include the United Kingdom, Thailand, Italy, and France. Meanwhile, South African exports to the rest of Africa are predominantly of valued-added goods. In terms of South Africa's total trade with the rest of the continent, Namibia, Botswana, Nigeria, and Mozambique are South Africa's main African trading partners. Foreign investment. South Africa remained the destination for the most foreign direct investment projects in 2022 in spite of the sharp fall in FDI in the continent due to the impact of the COVID-19. The dynamic business community is highly market-oriented and the driver of economic growth. South Africa offers ample opportunities and continues to attract investors seeking a comparatively low-risk location in Africa from which to access the continent that has the fastest growing consumer market in the world. However, the foreign direct investment inflows into South Africa fell from $4.6 billion in 2019 to $2.5 billion in 2020. The reduction in FDI inflows was in line with the global FDI reduction of 42%, while in 2021, South Africa recorded foreign direct investment inflows of $41.15 billion, better than that of 2020. The South African government encourages foreign direct investment and has acknowledged that such investment is necessary to support the country's growth and development objectives. However, the South African government requires that the benefits of foreign direct investments be balanced against its cost to the South African economy. The acquisition of Pioneer Foods by New York-based PepsiCo for 24 billion South African rand and Google's development of Equano, a new private subsea cable connecting Portugal and South Africa, are two major FDI investments in South Africa. There you have it. That was the economy of South Africa explained. Which other country's economy do you want us to talk about? Please drop it in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, like, and also share it with your friends.